After 8 weeks, South West Water has finally lifted the last Cryptosporidium boil water notice. But how much has consumer confidence been affected?
Rocketing bills, the North Devon residents who switched to water meters and received alarming demands.
We don't fill the kettle up, we just don't leave the taps running. We're very careful with the water. Trouble is, South West Water or not.
The boil water notice in parts of South Devon has now been completely lifted nearly 8 weeks after it was first imposed. Traces of the parasite Cryptosporidium, which causes vomiting and diarrhoea, were first found in the water supply in the Brixham area in May. At one stage, nearly 17,000 homes were told that their tap water was not fit to drink. Today, South West Water lifted the notice for the final few hundred homes, but as Scott Bingham reports, some residents remain concerned.
South West Water staff were out knocking on doors this morning, following up on a leaflet drop advising the last 674 properties in and around Brixham that the boil water notice has finally been lifted. It said the decision had been taken in line with public health partners, including the UK Health Security Agency, and that tap water is once again safe to drink.
I have to say, you don't seem convinced.
No, I'm not.
Tanya Matthews was one of the first to raise the alarm over the outbreak back in May.
In the last couple of days, there have been readings of crypto again up at Hillhead in the outlet pipes, which is what feeds our homes. And as we've always been told all along that the readings have to be zero. So how can we trust that it's safe?
South West Water maintains low-level detections at sampling points such as Hillhead Reservoir here have been well below the levels considered to be a health risk to customers.
Sarah Shaw was following guidance to run taps for 20 minutes before use. She says the lifting of the notice will make life easier.
Teeth brushing for ourselves and for the kids has just been a complete nightmare, having to kind of use bottled water, also washing up.
But she also says she'll continue to drink bottled water for as long as possible.
Definitely once our supplies run out, then I will, especially with the cost of living, I can't really afford to keep buying.
Meanwhile, South West Water's work to install UV filters, replace pipes and to flush the system through goes on. The company says it will continue to provide bottled water until customers regain confidence in their supply. That will take longer for some than others.
We asked South West Water for an interview again today. Again, they were unable to provide anyone for us to talk to. Scott Bingham, BBC Spotlight, Brixham.
Residents in a part of North Devon have been telling us that they've recently had their water meters changed at short notice, and some have seen their bills shoot up by hundreds of pounds. In the most extreme cases, the bills in South Molton have been in excess of £1,000. South West Water says it always responds directly to any customer that has concerns about their bill. John Ayres has more.
Dave Winter was given no notice that his water meter was being changed, which meant he didn't take a reading from the old meter. When he got his next bill, it was 5 times higher than normal.
My wife got out of South West Water, who insisted we had a water leak. After we'd done a water check, taken a meter reading, waiting a couple of hours, no water, and then taking a further meeting, the meter was exactly the same, no leak. They said, well, it must have been the contractor had a leak when he changed the meter. And we said, well, if the contractor had a leak, that's got nothing to do with me.
After his wife complained, South West Water initially reduced the bill from £260 to £120, and then eventually brought it down to £64. His average bill is normally around £40.
We're always very careful with water anyway. We put enough in the kettle to boil a cup of tea, and make a cup of tea. We don't fill the kettle up. We just don't leave the taps running. We're very careful with the water. Trouble is, South West Water or not.
Now, Dave isn't alone in this. We've spoken to other customers in South Molton who've recently had their water meters changed but didn't wish to appear on camera. One woman told us she's been billed £3,000. Now, that's been reduced to £59, and she's now had another bill, which is £37.50. Another woman who didn't realise her meter was being changed has been billed £1,000. Now, they put her bill on hold to check for water leaks, but that hasn't happened in the last 3 weeks. South West Water tell us that they're replacing their meters as part of their green recovery programme and that they sent leaflets out in advance. In a statement, they told us that while we can't discuss individual customers' accounts or their details, we'll always respond directly to anyone who has concerns about a bill so that we can help resolve their query. Dave got his bill down eventually, but he wonders if people who pay by direct debit will notice that there's been a discrepancy. John Ayres, BBC Spotlight, South Molton.